much time?
Yeah.
20 seconds? Okay. Let Hannah know. We got to be quick with this.
I'll be quick.
The #1 team in the GLVC and the #7 team in the nation prepares to take the court tonight at Nickerson Hall. Should be a great one. I'm Nathaniel Finch. That's Leticia Vaselli. Down on the floor is Hannah Hurley, joined by a group of men ranked 7th in the nation. They're ready to take on the Truman State Bulldogs. It's the Greyhounds here from Nickerson Hall, but Truman State, they're a good opponent. They've got one of the best players in the conference on their squad.
That is correct. That's Elijah Hazelkamp, and he is the greatest player by far for Truman State, although in the November match against the Greyhounds in Missouri, he didn't play that well. He actually just scored 11 points, but we are expecting him to play well today, and I'm hoping the Greyhounds can take advantage of their height and athleticism to take a win again today.
Should be a good game. We've got it all right here. Let's go down to the sideline with Hannah Hurley.
Thanks, Nathaniel and Leticia. As you can see, I am all decked out here in my pink. Yesterday was International Women in Sports Day, and the women's game just before this was UND TV's very first all-female crew broadcast. I was extremely honored to be a part of that, and I'm so excited to be a part of this broadcast as well. The UND women played very well tonight, and I think we're expecting the same thing from the men's team. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Hannah. Should be a fun one. Again, these two teams played in November. The Greyhounds took that matchup. The score way back then was, well, I'll tell you here in a moment. We got to step aside.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Let's you back here at Nickerson Hall. We just heard the anthem as we're preparing to go in this contest. The Greyhounds 18-2 coming into the game, 10-2 in the conference. Truman State, they're 10-11. They're 5-8. Leticia, they've kind of struggled this year. However, they're coming off their biggest win of the year, and what's going to end as their biggest win, I'm sure, against UMSL. That was a 69-62 win at home just last weekend, and I'm sure they're going to come in with a lot of fire after winning that game.
Oh yeah, for sure they are. I think both teams are going to come in with a lot of fire. Truman State definitely wants their revenge tonight against the Greyhounds because last game was indeed a wipeout. As you mentioned before, it was 80-57. So obviously they're trying to do that in Greyhound territory as well. But the Greyhounds will be fiery tonight, and I know that they're coming with a 12 winning streak. That means nothing for Corsaro, though, as he said in pregame. They're taking it game by game.
You just saw some of the starters on the screen for Indianapolis. That's Josiah Tynes at point guard, Jesse Bingham out there at shooting guard. You've got Jarvis Walker starting a game today instead of Bruno Williams. That's a new addition to the lineup. At the 4 spots, Jacoby Robinson, a junior from Warren Central, same as his teammate Bingham. And then finally down low, the number 5 spot is going to be number 1, Kendrick Joa from Silver Springs, Maryland. He's a junior. And then looking at the starting lineups for Truman State. Your point guard, his name is Hunter Strait. Another guard out there with them, the sophomore Trey Shearer. Of course, Strait, a senior, a leader for this team. And you have Bradley Andrews at forward. Down there with Xavier Hall as well. And then your best player, if you are a Bulldog, his name is Elijah Hayskamp. You will hear plenty of him today. He comes into the game averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds, leads the team in both those categories, leads the team in every shooting category. He's just such a monster for this squad. But Leticia, you mentioned it. The Greyhounds did a great job limiting him the last time out.
Yes, they did. And I think it had to do a lot with, like I said, their athleticism and their height. They definitely took advantage of that. And you know how the Greyhounds are. They're on a winning streak this year. I don't know what is going on. Corsaro is doing a really, really good job. And obviously rebounding was one of their weaknesses starting the season. But as we can see, they've been getting better and better at it.
And in that game against Truman State, it was an 80-57 win in Kirksville on November 28th. The Greyhounds were without, their tallest player on the floor, the 7-footer in Julian Steinfeld. So he's going to be in action tonight, and we'll see if they can continue to take advantage. They just got a lot taller with that 7-footer from Germany on the squad.
Oh yeah, and he is definitely an asset when it comes to blocking and those 3-pointers.
The Greyhounds, the number 1 defense in the conference, and in fact, their top 10 defense in the nation. They hold the number 5 ranking when it comes to field goal percentage in the nation. They're just such a great defense here, and it's going to be hard for Truman State to find some open shots.
Yeah, to find that gap within the arc is definitely going to be hard. They have been getting really, really good at blocking, especially when it comes to the second half of their games. The way that they're tall, I think they can do some really good damage today on the court.
Ready to inbound it for the Greyhounds is Kendrick Joa, the 6'7", 240-pound junior, one of the team's top players. And he typically wins these tips as he does. Poor Bradley Andrews stood no chance, a 6'8" forward playing in the lineup today. Not a typical starter, but he's coming in here maybe trying to defend Kendrick Joa. But really all you can do when you defend him, Leticia, is what they just did, a foul. First one of the day called against Bradley Andrews, and we're 12 seconds into the game.
Exactly. Kendrick Joa is one very, very hard player to defend and to try to block. As Corsaro likes to say, he's built like a Greek god.
Drains the first free throw, an area that he has gotten a lot better in of late. And it's good to see that he's able to skyrocket this free throw percentage. Shot around 50% for most of 2020, but as soon as that calendar flipped, he's all the way up to 70% now when he shoots charity stripe shots. First look at Hunter Strait, second best player on this team. You see him, number 3, who brought the ball up the floor. They're going to move the ball around, trying to find something here, and they do. Look at this, an open 3 off the gate. Man, that would have been a splash if it went in, but instead, the rebound and a whistle. Taking that shot was Trey Shearer. There's Josiah Tynes, who picks up his first foul of the contest. Tynes, of course, coming off his best game as a Greyhound, a career-high 19 points against Lewis. It was just his day on Saturday. I talked to him. on Monday, and he said, he's not always asked to be the leading scorer for this team, right, Leticia? But it just happened to be in this game that, they asked him to do it, and he was able to put up points. Everyone knows that he can score.
I think that's the really good thing about the Greyhounds. Whenever they have to step up and be the leader of the game, they have no problem doing so.
Look at this, a triple team on the inside. Doesn't matter. Put a village on Kendrick Joa. He'll still score. A quick couple buckets for the Greyhounds. Truman State, all they have to their name is a goose egg. We'll see if they can change that here. They've got a decent look on the inside. Trying to go for the reverse layup. Instead, it's a rebound on the defensive end by Jacoby Robinson, top 7 in the conference in that category. And look at this, inside again. This time it leads to the kick out into the 3. Joa won't always turn around and shoot the 2-pointer. He can kick it out for a 3.
And we're off to a hot start, just like we expected.
A timeout forced to be called by Coach Jeff Horner. With that, we'll step aside here as well. We'll tell you who Jeff Horner is after this on UND TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
We got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UND sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be.
Welcome back to the broadcast in Nickerson Hall. The Greyhounds back on the floor after a quick 7-0 run to start the game. And they're firing on all cylinders. Up high, down low, trying to find something, and they have to kick it out. That was Dylan Peters. That name might sound familiar, but first, how about Elijah Hayskamp hitting his first bucket, and it's from downtown. He shoots 43% from beyond the arc, and Hayskamp, a nice start for him. Another 3, Jacoby Robinson, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc.
What a great way to start this game for Jacoby Robinson.
Hayskamp, the Bulldogs' only offense to this point. And again, he'll score. He'll be the leading scorer of this team for about 90% of their games. He is a great player. With the drive, nice little layup, but too high off the glass. Another defensive rebound for Jacoby Robinson. Man, he's so good on both ends of the floor. It sure has been the Jacoby Robinson show early. Him and Kendrick Joa. Halfway through the clock, Robinson on the inside sees a double team. We're going to see this a lot today. Here's Jarvis Walker, and he gets fouled. Walker will be sent to the line. So far this year, 76% from the foul line. Not quite accustomed to seeing him in the starting lineup today. Usually it's Bruno Williams who sits eagerly on the bench.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that starter, but I'm sure Corsaro has seen a lot of improvements in practice. I know that he does that a lot. Whoever is practicing the best, I guess, gets to start.
Leticia, you had a chance to talk to Coach McGinsey before the game. What exactly did he say about this matchup?
Yes, I did, and he is so excited because, I mean, just look around. Everyone is here, and it's been a while I haven't seen it. This Nickerson Hall as packed as this. But Coach McGinsey said the atmosphere and the Corsaro crew is what he's most looking forward to. They got all their T-shirts going, and it's going to be fun to stay on track and get a win, hopefully.
Big T-shirts with Coach Corsaro yelling on the front of it, saying Corsaro crew. It's what you're mentioning there. Gave it out to the first $1.50 who walked into the door, including everyone on the UND TV staff. Gave those to us early. Pretty appreciative of that. Everybody on the crew today able to support those shirts. As the turnover on that end, Truman State coughs it up. They do that 12 times a game.
Oh yeah, I love the idea of the shirts. I'm thinking of making one for my coach myself, actually.
There you go, Leticia. I like to hear that. Tell me who your coach is. Let's let people know who Leticia Vaselli is.
I am actually a swimmer here at the University of Indianapolis, and my coach is Brent Noble. who has brought us many successes over the past years.
Here's Williams on the inside, trying to earn back his starting role, and just a little too strong there. Rebound on the other end. Here's Truman State trying to navigate traffic. Hard to do so with the big man, but it's easier when you kick it out for three. Hunter straight from downtown. He had 12 points against the Greyhounds in November, 18 points and 8 assists when these two teams played in the quarterfinal round of the GLVC tournament a year ago. That was last year at Southern Illinois University of Edwardsville. Greyhounds won that one as Etherington a little off the mark. UND won that game, Leticia, 94-90, a high-scoring game last season for that GLVC quarterfinal round.
Oh yeah, but also the UND Greyhounds are known for being a high-scoring team, and I think maybe this is what it's going to lead to, even if the Truman State Bulldogs can't keep up.
Bingham with the smooth back pedal after hitting that mid-range shot. The Greyhounds continue to increase this lead. The only thing we've seen are two made shots, both of them from three for Truman State, but not a lot after that. A few turnovers like this one forces the timeout and brings us to the under 16 media timeout. And Leticia, UND, they're just looking a lot better right now.
No, they are, and as we can see, I'm impressed by their rebounding game. They usually start off pretty slow and then they get faster by the second half, but they've already started to impress me. That's how we got all these points racked up.
Let's head down to the sideline with our reporter, Hannah Hurley. Hannah, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. The energy in the room is already high. Even the band is excited for this game. I'm excited to see it progress. One of the UND assistant coaches kept repeating to number 15, Bruno Williams, don't let up, just don't let up. We will see if that is the theme that carries the Greyhounds throughout the game. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hannah. Let's go ahead and step aside now. Be back in a moment.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
You're looking at Ben Nickerson, Aaron Etherington, Julian Steinfeld, head coach Paul Corsaro right there. The other two players on the floor, Bruno Williams and Jesse Bingham. And for Coach Corsaro, 48-25 in his third year with the Greyhounds as a head coach. Of course, was an assistant coach for a while, was a player, played football as well for UND. He's looking to continue his legacy. Here's Bruno Williams with the pull-up three. It looks like it could be one of those days for UND. Already 3 triples.
Oh yeah, and we just took a look at Coach Corsaro with his blazer on, but trust me, by the end of this game, he will have it off because he is always off his seat no matter what the score is.
A foul on the floor. That'll bring in a platoon swap for UND. Most of the starters ready to return to the floor. We'll see that here in just a moment. Choa and Robinson, the two guys down low. The point guard, Josiah Tynes. Jarvis Walker starting his first game, and then David Ija into the game for UND. Join the lineup. On the inside, here's Dylan Peters, a little too strong. Rebound from Choa. Dylan Peters, the brother of former UND basketball player Sean Peters. Sean has played for UND the last couple of years. Here's another three. This one a little off. You knew he had to come down to earth eventually. Robinson can't get it to hit. Sean Peters, no longer with the team, had an unfortunate accident. Was not able to join the roster this year, but his brother Dylan Peters still doing good things for the Bulldogs. A couple GLVC brothers here. Trying to find some offense. Pull-up jumper and too much contact. That'll be Robinson's first foul of the contest. That'll send C. Talton over to the line.
Kobe Robinson, a little emotional today. He's just going with his gut, not really thinking too much about what he's doing.
Talton misses the first. He'll get 2 though. He shoots 79% from the foul line on the ear trace here. Re-enters the game, gives Hunter Straight a break. Can't hit either of them, but the rebound, this could be big. Instead, it's poked away. Could this be another turnover? It will be. They're going to call this a jump ball. Heck of a job by Robinson to get in there in the scrum and pull the ball away, huh?
From 2 Bulldogs, but like I said, he is on fire today. And for those of you who don't know, Jacoby Robinson is actually a dad of a 1-year-old, really, really cute baby who's always here to watch his games.
Ball goes out of bounds, another turnover for the Bulldogs. We've seen that now 5 times already. Leticia, we're just over 5 minutes into the game. We already have 5 turnovers for the Bulldogs.
I think that I'm not even going to say that they're slacking, but I just think the Greyhounds are very well prepared for this game today and know exactly what they're going to do.
Again, the number 1 defense in the conference and the top 10 defense in the nation to go along with the number 7 ranking in the nation. How about that? Kendrick Choa on the inside with yet another great one. He's now 2 of 2 from the field. 6 points for him. Nice pull up from the jumper, bounces around, can't get to go from the elbow. It'll stay black ball. Hayes Camp returns to the game, comes in with Joe Knutson. Joe Knutson, that is. So he'll pass the ball around here. You saw him at the top of the key a moment ago. Straight returns as well. Nice little no-look pass, sets up the open 3. Hayes Camp's gonna bury that every time. This is a team that had 2 first-team all-GLVC players last year leave. That's really set the stage for Hayes Camp. Here's Ejah, a little off. And Hayes Camp has just taken that title as the number 1 for this team, and he has run with it. However, we see the 6th turnover now by the Bulldogs. Greyhounds will get the ball.
Yeah, Nathaniel, for the owner of jersey number 24, Elijah, he in Missouri actually carried the team. Yes, he only had 11 points, but he was the one-man band kind of doing everything and really the only one to score all the time. And I'm afraid of this happening again because obviously it's a lot of pressure for one person to carry the whole team.
He's got 6 already. In the game last March when these 2 teams played in that quarterfinal round of the tournament. Of course, UND advanced to the finals. Lost in that game to Umsel. Here's a 3 from Josiah Tynes. He's so good at those, but can't. A rebound goes to Choa. For Hayes Camp in that game against UND last year, 22 points and 7 rebounds. And again, he wasn't the number 1 at the time. Nice turnaround, but again, another miss. The Greyhounds just off the mark. How about Cade McKnight and Mason Miller? They were the 2 first-teamers from Truman State last year. They both transferred together to Indiana State, now playing in the Valley in the Division I Indiana State program. Good to see the 2 of them having some success. That's really just set the stage for number 24 in black to have a great season. He'll be on the first-team All-GLVC list, I'm sure, by the end of it. Looking for a shot on the inside. Here's a nice finish at the basket. It's Joe Knutson. Sean Craig into the game for the first time for UND. A great 3-point shooter. He thought about one here instead. It'll set up a corner 3 from Bruno Williams. It was not a pretty shot. How about this? Greyhounds get another go-around, though. Tynes with the feed. And a foul. Choa to the line again. It just seems like no one's able to stop Kendrick Choa today.
No, and I mean, I'm going to be honest, I can't stop looking at how athletic he is and just, you know, pushes through, makes the gaps for himself, and just, I'm amazed every single time. That man is really out of this world.
He's a nightmare for opposing coaches to try to figure out how to stop. Let's go ahead and head down to the sideline. Hannah Hurley, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. The Greyhounds obviously off to a hot start here with a 8-point lead, sorry. The Bulldogs trailing and creeping up just a little bit, but that's what makes a good game, right? That's what we're all here for, to play and watch some good ball. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Hannah. Let's step aside. More next. Corsaro, Leticia, we talked about him really building a program at UND, and it's been fun to watch the last few years. And this team just keeps getting better and better and better.
It's been fun to watch, and it's been fun to hear everything Corsaro has to say. I mean, he seems like a really chill guy overall, but we know that he's not when we look at him on the sidelines. Just in the pregame today, actually, one of my friends asked him what the winning streak of 12 means for this game, and he said absolutely nothing. Like I said, he takes it game by game, and he knows that his team isn't perfect and has a lot of things that he can correct for the next game.
Choa can't hit the second, so he splits the pair. Hunter Straight's going to lead this team. It's going to be tough to win this game if Truman State stays down around these 9-10 points, so they're going to want to find some offense. Hayskamp can give it to him. A little too shy there. It's tough with the fadeaway three. Maybe if he was able to get his feet set a little bit better.
But to what you were saying, Nathaniel, if you look at every time that Truman State tries entering the arc, UND's defense is just right there. And you can clearly see that, I'm going to say it, size matters. In basketball, it does, because they're just able to block, and it's three guys at one Truman State Bulldog. It's hard to score like that.
Bad news for those not on the basketball court right now. Here's Bruno Williams on the inside, nice and strong, finishes at the cup. UND doubles up to score the Bulldogs. Nice pull up, Jay, and it's good. What a smooth shot there from C.E. Talton.
And that was one of the ones where not really anyone was man-to-man blocking him, and that's why he was able to get that shot.
Cross-court pass from the corner, Ben Nickerson, and it's in and out. Here's Talton, having a productive few minutes here for the Bulldogs. Nice move on the inside, working on the freshman. Kicks it out. Could this be an assist? No, it's another turnover. Yet another one for Truman State. Call it their 7th. UND has 0. And for the Greyhounds, they've got 9 points off turnovers. It's nearly half of the score on the board. Williams on the inside, forced to kick it out. You know, Steinfeld's not going to shoot threes, leaves him open, but he goes inside, hooping the harm, send him to the line. Look at this. The feet on the inside, and just the hack of the big man. Hayskamp picks up a foul.
I don't know if anyone else saw that, but he didn't even jump. All that man needs to do is just lift up his heels off the ground, and he can dunk that easily. I wonder what it's like to be 7 foot sometimes.
Again, he had a knee injury. You'll see a little bit of tape on that left knee of his. Just kind of tweaked it in the first weekend of basketball after really a hot start he had. So he missed the first game back in November against Truman State. Now he's able to come out and find some early success against this team. And for Steinfeld, his success has to come in limited runs because, you know, you're the backup to the #1 player in the nation when it comes to field goal percentage. That's Kendrick Choa. He's just so good. We've sung his praises so often. So when he has to come in, he has to show off, and he's done so far. Ball goes out of bounds. Truman State keeps possession. For Steinfeld, he played 24 minutes against Lewis. That, of course, was because Kendrick Choa had his season worst game, picked up 4 fouls, only 5 points for him. So it gave Steinfeld some run. Had 7 rebounds and 3 blocks in that stretch. You talked about it. He's a big man when it comes to blocking. Perks of being 7 foot, right?
Exactly, and that's exactly what he uses. Corsaro uses him for.
Hayskamp, your GLVC Player of the Week just 2 weeks ago. Clanks one too shy. Of course, the week before that, the Player of the Week was Kendrick Choa, who went on an absolute tear. He just doesn't miss. That's why he's #1 in the nation in field goal percentage. Double team in the corner. Straight up 3, but can't get it to drop. And that's Williams, and another turnover. Another one, already 8.
Oh my God.
This team averages 12 a game. They've got 8 already. We're only 11 minutes into the game. We might see upwards of 20 or more.
And Nathaniel, I'm going to make a contrast here real quick between the men's and the women's team. Mark Mitchell has no choice but to leave certain players on the game for a really long time, where Corsaro does the opposite. Whenever he notices, he wants to rest up his best players, and so that's why he keeps switching them up all the time, which is really, really good.
Off the glass, getting a rebound. Can't put it in, but send Bingham to the line. To your point, Leticia, the Greyhounds came out of a timeout earlier in the game. They hit a three and then sent 5 new guys on the floor. Like, they did everything Corsaro could have asked them to do out of that under 12 media timeout, and yet he still brought in 5 fresh players. They've got probably 9 or 10 guys they're comfortable with starting on any given day, and that's why they can go 2 full lineups deep and be happy with it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, a simple 30 seconds of sitting down and drinking some water can basically press the restart button on the human body, and I think that's why they're such on fire today and always.
Missing both from the line. You don't see that very often at all from Jesse Bingham. Averages 16 points a game, team's best player from Warren Central High School. 15 to 20 minutes down the road. For Bingham, he's top 4 in the conference when it comes to scoring the ball. 4th in blocks as well. He's going to be on the GLVC first team. I'm sure he's on the top 100 Bevo Francis award list. So he's been an outstanding player for UND this season. Seven to shoot, needing some help. Agwu gives it to him. Here's one from downtown, and it's drained. Xavier Hall from downtown. He had 11 points against Umsel last week. Etherington pulls up from beyond the arc and drains it. UND's offense has just been too good to this point in the game, up 12. And another turnover. Seems like I just keep repeating myself, Leticia. Another turnover. That is now the 9th one of the game for Truman State.
Oh yeah, but just recently we could see Xavier Hall trying his best to get inside those gaps and quickly moving inside the arc, and he was exactly that kind of help that Truman State tried to have back in November.
Let's see what Hannah Hurley has to say.
Thanks, guys. The tension between the Greyhounds and the Bulldogs is rising as each team tries to inch forward on the scoreboard. The players are getting heated, coaches getting more and more expressive, and the crowd is feeling it too as they yell for their team. The sideline's a good place to be. I mean, I feel like I have the best seat in the house. I'm Hannah Hurley reporting from the sidelines of Nickerson Hall for the GLVC Sports Network and UND TV.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UND TV News.
You're looking at the 5th-year head coach of the Bulldogs. His name is Jeff Horner. Head coach Paul Corsaro said before the game that it doesn't matter what the record is for this Truman State team. They're always well coached, with Horner on the sideline, and he really emphasized that. It doesn't matter if they're 10 and 11. It doesn't matter if the Greyhounds beat them in November. They've won the last 2 matchups against this squad. They're always going to come out prepared to play with this man. Became head coach in 2018 as Tynes sinks a 3 from the corner. For Jeff Horner, was the standout point guard at Iowa. A lot of Big Ten fans in the area know about him. Was an assistant coach in North Dakota. Also actually recruited Elijah Hayes-Camp, who played his first season as a college man at D1 North Dakota. He's 5th all-time in wins for Truman State.
And to your point, Nathaniel, Corsaro talked about him, and just like that, another 3-pointer.
How about that? Xavier Hall trying to keep it close. When Tynes hits one, Hall's got to respond. He does just that. Brings us to a timeout. The Greyhounds going to huddle up. We'll see what comes after this.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
The Hounds up 13. Going to continue to increase this lead if they can continue to do what they've been able to do at will.
And what I was going to say to your point, Nathaniel, before this timeout, Corsaro actually mentioned in his pregame today how Jeff Warner is a great coach, and he's coaching Truman State really, really well. And so that's why this is just a game, and obviously we can't expect the Greyhounds to wipe out.
They're going to continue to increase this lead, like I said. It is currently at its highest peak so far today. Up by 15. With the layup, it's a tough shot, and he sinks it before Hunter Straight hits the deck. Greyhounds in transition, they're so good down here. Spinning around with a triple, now quadruple team losing the ball, and it's a turnover. The first turnover for UIndy. Trying to go a little too strong, pushing the envelope as we get a shot from downtown. And Leticia, that was ugly.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say it, but since you did.
The air ball chance coming from Nickerson Hall. See a few of the fans wearing those Corsaro Crew shirts. Again, we appreciate head coach Paul Corsaro. Brought me into his office today, said, hey, I got a box full of shirts for you. Go take them to the UND TV crew, and sure enough.
And we are all wearing it, that's for sure. We're here to support Coach Corsaro.
He wanted me to put it on over my suit, Leticia. I said, well, I don't know if I can do that, but I'm wearing it under. I'm rocking it. It's just not, it's not over the navy.
I wanted him to wear it under his suit. That would have been funny.
Double team from beyond the arc. It's going to set up an open three. Here's Robinson, sinks his third. The big man can hit from range. Xavier Hall hacked away, ball's on the ground. He gets rid of it. How about that? Open shot, straight. Yes, sir.
Right in.
Hunter Straight's hit a couple of those now. It's his second on 3 attempts from downtown. This double teaming defense keeps leaving open guys. The Greyhounds trying to take advantage. Here's the big man. Bounces around. You're not going to see him take many threes. That's just his second of the season. He's missed both. This guy can hit him, though, but that one's in and out. Looked like a good shot, Leticia. Just couldn't get to go.
I really thought that one was going to go in. And like you said, Julian Steinfeld just doesn't really take the risk.
You know who does, though? Brandon Crocked with a nice shot. Transfer from JUCO. Same college, John Wood Community College, as Corey Miller Jr. from UIndy over the last 4 or 5 years came from. It is now UIndy calls the timeout inside of 5 minutes. Let's step aside. Getting into it. Don't see these guys too often. It's good to see a nice little crowd, even a bunch of little middle schoolers running around. Looks like Zionsville Middle School potentially coming out and playing with the UND band. Trying to get the guys fired up on the floor. They're doing a good job so far. UND, nice 10-point lead. Greyhounds taking their time every possession. That's what happens when you got the lead that they do. They've had the lead the entire game. Hit the opening bucket and haven't looked back since. Another three, nice little fake, but it's a little too strong. Back into the iron. Robinson can't get it to go. Nice backdoor cut. Looks like it's kicked away. No, it'll be a turnover. Hayes Camp arguing, thinks it should be Truman State ball. Honestly, Leticia, I think I agree with him. It should be Bulldog ball. They're going to talk this one over. You see him right there in front of Coach Corsaro. He's not too happy about it.
He's not too happy, and he loves to yell at the referees. I remember I was sitting just behind them on a media timeout, and he got really angry at his players because they were talking to the referees, and he's like, I'm the only one who can whisper in the referee's ears. But I think that's more of yelling than whispering.
Look at this. Choa with the steal in transition, but he decides to slow it down. Leticia, I thought we'd see him bring the house down.
I thought so, too. It's been a while. I haven't seen him dunk at all.
On the inside, can he do it here? No, he travels, picked up that pivot foot, turnover. Just the second one for the Greyhounds.
Kendrick Choa, the man, the legend, the god.
Quick in transition, a block. You don't see Tynes get many of those, but recrolling it and dropping it in the bucket. Joe Knutson, product of Cedar Falls, Iowa. He's 6'9". He works well inside the redshirt freshman forward. He's trying to give some offense and defense here. All smiles from Paul Corsaro. Gonna watch Josiah Tynes walk in front of him and cross the timeline. Tynes with the cross key pass. It's a three from number 3, but Bingham too short.
Yeah, Bingham hasn't been doing too hot already to start this game.
Hayes Camp in transition, looks for a foul, doesn't get it, doesn't get the shot either. Another rebound for Jacoby Robinson. Today he's got 3 rebounds. Corner shot, another air ball, not pretty. Bruno Williams can't increase NATO run. Seven to shoot. Hayes Camp thought about a 3. Instead, he kicks it out. Here's a shot from the right wing. No man. Rebound. Kendrick Choa.
Tynes taking it slow, then looking at his options, using the other ear to listen to Corsaro's instructions.
Floater bounces and a miss, but a rebound and a putback and a foul. It was Williams with the initial shot, about 5 feet away. Then it was Choa who picked it up. As you see here, he just got fouled trying to go up. Is there any other way to guard Kendrick Choa?
I think if you join every single player in the court, maybe, just maybe,
I mean,
you might be able to block him.
he beat a triple team earlier. You can't even do that hardly. He's just so impressive.
That's
and
what I'm
so
saying.
physical. Let's head down to the sideline with Hannah Hurley.
The game is looking similar now to how it did last time I spoke with you guys. The Bulldogs are playing a game of catch-up while the Greyhounds try to extend their lead. Time can only tell as we look ahead to what the rest of the first half will look like. I'm Hannah Hurley with the GLVC Sports Network and UND TV.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
It was only 3 minutes ago that UND held its largest lead of the game at 16 points. Since then, an 8-0 run for the team in black. That's the Truman State Bulldogs, and the current lead for UND sits at just 8 points. Truman State looks like they were going to get run out of the gym, but suddenly they're playing some good ball. They're trying to stay in this one. Kendrick Choa to the line can make it a double-figure lead again.
And let's talk about this crowd as the band provides music for us. Nickerson Hall is packed, and I'm surprised to see as many Bulldogs fans over here. And I just now realized the dance team and our cheer team are wearing the Corsaro Crew t-shirt. What a way to support the Hounds today.
First from the line, successful. Give that man some high fives. He's got a second chance, though. Currently ranks 19th. Make that now 18th on the all-time rebounding list after he hit a couple rebounds earlier in this contest. just continues to climb up that list. He's 18th and continue to climb. He's just a junior for the squad. Wouldn't be too out of the picture for him to end his career at number 1 if he stays with UND. Hayes Camp, nice pull up, Jay. Nickerson getting some run. Ben Nickerson, that is. In the gym named after his great-grandfather. His dad is the head coach of the golf team as well. Some good ties to UND Ben Nickerson has. It's a natural fit for him.
Yeah, I think it just came in the family that he had to play for here. And I know he doesn't usually start, but Corsaro does put him to run the ball a couple of times. He has good assists.
Against Truman State in November, he had 9 points in that contest. Good to see him with some success there. One of his better games as a Greyhound. Here's Jarvis Walker from the line. Walker hits the first. He's now 3 of 3 on the day from the stripe. It's his only points. You see number 2, Josiah Tynes, re-entering the game. The floor general getting the squad figured out, moving guys in place. Here's Walker again. Choa sits down, doesn't matter, both are good. Back to a 10-point game. A quick drive, kicks it out to Hayes Camp. He feeds inside. Here's Peters with 2 and a foul. Dylan Peters put him at the line. You see that, just a little too much contact from Choa. His second foul. Here's the thing, Leticia. Had his worst game of the season against Lewis on Saturday. It's because he had 4 fouls. You know, he wasn't able to stay in the game very long. He already has 2 here. You know he's going to be taking a seat for maybe, at the very least, the remainder of this half, and got to stay out of foul trouble. Something he's been so well at doing. You know, he hardly picks up fouls, but these last 2 games just been a little different.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just him getting, I don't know, I guess a little over his head because of the winning streak. I think maybe he starts getting way too aggressive with these games because he gets so excited, and he's been racking up those fouls, and sometimes it hurts UND.
To the cup, nice lay-in, left hand, splitting the defenders. Beautiful shot, Jesse Bingham, moving quickly. Xavier Hall.
Good to see Bingham start to score again. He wasn't doing too hot at the beginning of this first half.
4 points for Jesse Bingham, 2 of 5 shooting. With the Euro, drops it out of bounds. It'll looks to stay Truman State ball. And you're right, though, with Jesse Bingham, he's the team's best player. He's 4th in the conference in scoring. And he did hit kind of a cold streak towards the middle of the season, but lately he's been doing a lot better. Against Truman State in November, 16 points, 5 rebounds for him. Against Lewis, though, on Saturday, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He's really getting back in his groove, and today he's got 4. Rebound goes to Robinson, snatches it away from his 7-foot teammate, Jacoby Robinson, with his 4th rebound. All on the defensive end. That's where he thrives. Number 7 in the conference in that category. And now he's got it in the low post. Backing down Agwu. They'll kick it out. Taking their time, 10 to shoot. Ball's on the ground. It's a turnover. And now it's Peters up high and down low. Dylan Peters.
6'8", I guess. That's what you can do. You can dunk the ball, and that was totally on the Greyhounds and on Bingham. They obviously weren't fast enough to be able to cross the court with him.
Bingham 8 to shoot. It's tipped back in by his teammate. Bingham missed the shot. But how about Julian Steinfeld tap it in? Now on the other end with 2 to shoot. Can't get it off. Agwu watches it go awry. So for UND, they head into half. Not quite as big of a lead as they had. They were up by as much as 16. Right now the lead sits at 9, 44-35. Your score as UND heads to trying to figure out what they can do to increase this lead coming out of half number 2. And with that, let's head down to the sideline with Hannah Hurley.
As I look back to just before tonight's game, it was great to see Jesse Bingham's family, team, friends, and fans support him as well as we all celebrated his 1,000 career point milestone. I think that is what set the tone for the rest of his team this evening. as we see them continuing to propel each other forward play by play. The Bulldogs really have their work cut out for them going into the second half. From the sidelines of Nickerson Hall, reporting for the GLVC Sports Network and UND TV, I'm Hannah Hurley.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30, touchdown.
finish by home.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by home.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today, you know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. As a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue.
Nearing the end of the halftime break, let's take a look at the best plays of the first half, one of which belongs to maybe the team's best player, Jesse Bingham. Nice little roll on the glass. This was one that happened at the end of this one. Towards the end of the half, just 45 seconds to go, it was Dylan Peters who slammed it in off the fast break. Only the third turnover of the half by the Greyhounds. This one, in the closing seconds, it was Julian Steinfeld to tap it in. On the other end, another highlight from Dylan Peters. Elijah Hayescamp having himself a decent first half outing. How about this one, though? Hunter Strait leading the charge from downtown. This Truman State team shot pretty well from beyond the arc. 46%. They made 6 of them. Almost similar as the stat line for UIndy in that category. Hunter Strait leads the team in scoring with 8. You see 2 of them from there. You know who leads the game in scoring, though? His name is Kendrick Choa, and he comes up strong on the inside. Choa was just unstoppable. He had 11 points in the first half.
I mean, I think this first half, the Greyhounds definitely started on fire. I know we didn't see as much as we're used to Jesse Bingham, but Choa really showed it off. Jacoby Robinson defensively was also really great, and here we see him again starting up with the ball.
As you can see the pep band getting excited and getting things set up. Not sure why, but they're all just holding up their trombones as if that's a good idea in front of a camera. As Hayes Camp buries one from downtown. He's got 11.
I think it's all those football players yelling against him that's only making him get 11 points.
Another shot, this time a little too short, but a rebound, his 5th one of the day. He's got 11 and 5. That's Choa. Here's Walker, Euro step, stolen away, but he takes it back. Tries to go up and put it in. That's not quite what you want to see from Jarvis Walker in terms of offense. Defense, though, not bad. Too strong off the layup. Greyhounds get lucky. Hall can't drop it in. The 6th rebound for Choa. He's on his way towards a double-double pretty quick. Feeding around the arc. Walker comes in strong, lays it up, can't hit the runner. The 7th rebound from Choa. Now they'll say it's a jump ball. Disregard that jump ball. Kendrick Choa tried his best. He gets tied up. Peters returns to action. Did not start today, although he's a starting caliber player for the Bulldogs. Averages 7 points. 3 rebounds. In that first half, Dylan Peters had 5 points. 1 on a 3, 1 on a layup. You saw them both in our little mashup from the first half. Good stretch of basketball he played. Hayes Camp downtown. He's fouled. Send him to the line for not 1, not 2, but 3 shots.
Oh yeah, that was a clear and deserved foul.
His first of the half.
Hayes Camp 91% from the foul line this season from Sioux City, Iowa. A lot of guys from Iowa in this Truman State squad. So when Upper Iowa University joins the conference in the fall, I'm sure a lot of those guys are going to be enjoying the trip to Truman State, back and forth. Not too far of a drive, Kirksville over to Upper Iowa.
Yeah, but from Indianapolis, yes, it is. 6 dreadful hours.
Not looking forward. That's just the Truman State. It'll be even longer, about 8 hours when they have to play the Peacocks in Upper Iowa. Starting next year, all sports. Rebound Choa. Tynes running the floor. The starting 5 out there for Indianapolis. That minus Bruno Williams, who came off the bench. Nice look on the inside. It's Bingham. Bingham was honored tonight as a 1,000th point scorer for Indianapolis. Hit that accolade about 2.5 weeks ago on a Monday night here in Nickerson Hall. Did it on a dunk. It was pretty impressive, and he's just continued to build his resume. Here's the feed on the outside. Straight. Buries it from downtown. Hunter Straight having himself a good contest. 11 points, 3 made triples. Bingham pulls up foul line, bounces in after the rattle. Give Jesse his 8th point. Started slow, but he's starting to heat up here in the second half.
That's exactly what I said in the first half, that he was starting really slow, and sometimes he can really do that in games. He was like that at the Truman State game as well. First half kind of slow, and then he just gets better and better.
Well, he's human. Hunter Straight, air balls 1. He's hit 3 of those triples today, but that one not pretty. He gets the air ball chance. Here from the folks at UIndy. Nickerson and Etherington come into the game together. A couple of seniors for this squad. Nickerson from Center Grove. Aaron Etherington up north from Hamilton Southeastern by way of Toledo University. Nickerson, the perimeter double team, has to kick it out. Here's Bingham needing some help. Nickerson's going to come in strong, but he has to kick it out. Good defense for Truman State, but not for long. The big man, he can't get it to go. Looked like a good look, but Steinfeld can't roll it in. Peters up strong around Steinfeld, but a miss too far off the glass. Williams with the rebound. His 2nd. Bruno spins around. He can take a three from here if he wants to. Peters giving him room. Instead, he'll drive. Again, great defense. A couple of great defensive stands.
That's what I was going to say. I'm sure that locker room conversation was definitely about improving their defense because they knew that that was their weak point.
In transition, it's a 2 from Hunter straight, and suddenly, just like that, it's a 4-point game. Hounds up by as many as 16, now up by 4. Triple left wing, buries it. Aaron Etherington, yes sir. And a 4-point lead quickly turns into 7. On the other end, how about another triple? Hunter straight, 4 threes today. Goodness. Back and forth game, Letizia. This is fun to watch. Back to 4 points.
Oh yeah, now it's getting closer and tighter, I think. Oh, look at that. Just like I said, Corsaro took his blazer off. I knew that by the second half that was going to happen because now we're just a few points away from tying up the game.
Williams, nope. Rebound straight. 3. Hayskamp, he got it. 1-point game and a timeout. My goodness. Look at this one. In transition with guys around him. Buries it. Nothing but net. That is a beautiful shot, Leticia.
Oh yeah, Hunter Straight, the senior, and Elijah Hazekamp also just carrying the team here with the points, and it's just been beautiful to see.
A lot to talk about. See what Hannah has to say.
Thanks, guys. The Greyhounds really trying to keep the energy flowing into this second half. High-fiving and words of encouragement seemed pretty abundant in warm-ups. They're already putting up a few more points on the board, so it's clear that whatever they're doing is working, but if they want the win, they need to do more of it because the Bulldogs are slowly closing that gap. I'm Hannah Hurley reporting with the GLVC Sports Network and UND TV.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UND TV News.
Live look into the UND huddle as it breaks, only up by 1. You've seen a 15-point lead evaporate coming out of the halftime. It's been almost all Truman State, but it doesn't mean we haven't seen anything from UND. They've still been scoring pretty well. It's just a 6-0 run, a couple made threes in the last 45 seconds for Truman State. We'll see if UND can start to corral things.
Our highest scorer still being Choa with 11 points, but the Truman players straight, Hunter Straight and Elijah are 15 and 13 points.
Hayskamp having himself a good day. So is Hunter Straight. 4 made threes for him. Hayskamp's hit a couple as well. UND trying to respond. Screen and roll on the inside. Coming up strong. Coming down with the points. Sound the buzzer. Doesn't matter. Up 3. Kendrick Choa. He's got 13. 8 rebounds too. Strong bounce pass, strong trip to the basket, and he comes away with a pair of Dylan Peters.
And that move right there just reminded me of my Brazilian soccer players from the Brazilian official team when they just dribble the ball, and that's what the Truman State player did.
Kendrick Choa, 1 dribble, sets it in off the block. He was wide open on the inside, just got past his man. Lead back to 3, it can be tied here, and it is! Cool off, Hunter Straight.
It's threes after threes after threes. Nothing can stop Hunter Straight. He's on a streak right now.
Hayskamp is 4 of 7. Hunter Straight is 4 of 6. These two guys carrying for the team in black. Foul. Hayskamp picks up his second. Got to be careful. The team's best player can't get into foul trouble. Kendrick Choa knows that. I'm sure the Greyhounds love that matchup when Hayes Camp is defensively aligned against Kendrick Choa. I'll tell you why next.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Welcome back to Nickerson Hall, the number 7 ranked team in the nation, tied with a 10-win team in the Truman State Bulldogs, a game under 500, trying to change that today. It's been a contest. I expect it to continue. Foul, another one called, a couple quick ones. This time on the inside is Joe Knutson trying to guard the big man. Can't do that. There's his third foul.
I guess this is the point where they start racking up their fouls.
Look at this. Strong to the basket. Put some hustle in his muscle, Jesse Bingham.
Jesse Bingham just makes these layups look so easy.
Just a beautiful drive. Look at this. Left-handed. Uses his right hand to slide it in. Doesn't get any better than that.
Bingham is the king of the dunks. Do you think we'll get to see one of these still in this game?
We'll see. Hang out at the edge of your seat, waiting for either him or Choa, I'm sure. Steal. Another turnover. This time Tynes pokes it away. Just see now the 11th turnover for the Bulldogs, but pretty impressive this half. It's their first. Here's Choa on the inside. 17 points and 8 rebounds. Top of the key. Left wing to the scorching hot Hunter Straight. Hayes Camp right up there with him. The team's 2 leading scorers. Turnover. 2 straight. Corsaro pumps his fists. Not the same reaction from Jeff Horner.
Or Elijah, for that matter. Pretty disappointed in himself for doing that.
Taking things slow. The next dead ball brings us to the media timeout, where you will hear from Hannah Hurley. In the meantime, the Hounds trying to set up their offense in the half court. On the inside, usually pretty successful. Continuing that as he gets fouled. The 4th foul now for Joe Knutson. We're going to have to see him take a seat. And probably for a while, Leticia. Send Choa to the line. As I promised, a foul brings a dead ball, brings Hannah Hurley. We'll get to her in just a moment, but Leticia, suddenly the Greyhounds on a quick 4-0 run. They've got a nice little lead here, trying to continue with the line. Why?
Well, I guess since this is Greyhound home, but to be honest, Nathaniel, I'm kind of scared of how this game is going to go. It's pretty close, and the way that Stray and Elijah have been carrying the team, we can expect nothing less.
To Hannah Hurley.
Thanks, guys. I can see the stress beginning to creep into the Greyhounds' faces as the Bulldogs continue to work to close the gap here. Head coach shaking his head a few times and stopping his foot to get his players' attention over by the UND bench. There's some smiles down on the Bulldog bench, but the game isn't over yet. And one way or another, we're going to find out who wants the win more. I'm Hannah Hurley reporting with the GLVC Sports Network and UND TV.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. we have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UIndy TV News.
Up by 4, 59-55 the score. It's the Greyhounds with the lead. Coach Corsaro not happy with just a 4-point advantage. They were up by 4 times as many earlier in half number 1. Here's Kendrick Choa. He's got 17 points. He can make that 19 with a pair from the line. He gets halfway there. Leticia, UIndy not used to playing in these close games. They're typically accustomed to blowing teams out on this 12-game win streak. However, last Thursday night against Illinois Springfield, they had to gut one out. They were down by 5 in the under 4 media timeout. Went on a nice run, won the game.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting this many points from Truman State, considering their last game was 80-57.
The lob and the slam! Bring it home! The second one from Dylan Peters. A quick look at this one. Straight, just lobs it up, and Peters does what he does best.
Not from the person I was wishing to see the dunk from, but I will say that was beautiful.
Etherington dribble drive, pass inside, poked away, stolen away by Peters, having himself a great stretch of basketball into the hands of Hayskamp. Now Peters in strong, kicks it out, poked away.
Tynes tried to take that one away, but was just a little short.
Whistle blows, Hounds up by 3. 4 white jerseys prepare to re-enter the game. That's Julian Steinfeld, Bruno Williams, Jarvis Walker, David Eja. A little bit of a platoon swap. Josiah Tynes gets to stay in the game, so do all 5 of the Bulldogs who were in previously. We'll see what this lineup can do for UIndy. Inside, kick out, looking at a 3. He's too short. Getting his own rebound. Inside, Hunter Straight with the layup. He's got 18 points now.
Yeah, I mean, just look at how he took advantage of that open gap that UIndy's defense was able to give him, and he just took that opportunity right away and was able to lay that up.
Long 2, and it bounces a dud. It looked like a rebound, if you can call it that, from Steinfeld. He gets fouled. So he'll be able to inbound here. 4th foul called against the OA team halfway through our second half. The inbound, the drive, the strong lay-in, can't get it to go, stolen away. In transition, he's gonna have to back up. He doesn't have the numbers, that's Xavier Hall. Straight away 3, bounces a miss, and now the rebound for the big man. He's been thirsty for a lot of those. Steinfeld's 3rd. Stolen away, Peters again, he lays it.
Oh my.
Peters with 2 hands, drops the hammer. And a timeout wisely called by Coach Corsaro. Down for the first time today. Truman State takes their first lead in 30 minutes of play. Let's step aside. More next. UIndy TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Down for the first time today. Nice little run for Truman State. It's a 6-0 little stretch for the Bulldogs and really causing some dismay on that Hounds sideline. It's Tynes trying to lead the offense. The starting 5 back in for the Hounds. Bingham, he can come in strong. Instead, he kicks it out. Tynes thought about a 3. Jacoby Robinson. Too strong, put back, fouled. This time the foul goes against Dylan Peters. And this time Kendrick Choa to the line yet again. What a days he is having. If he hits these, he's got 20 points. Kendrick Choa, 18 games this season with double-figure scoring. He's just a rebound away from his 6th double-double.
And Nathaniel, I think the reason why Truman State has been able to get ahead already in this game is their ability to just grab the opportunities that UND opens up for them. I mean, 2 simple mistakes, like Bingham letting the ball go on accident, just led to these 2 players who are leading the game for Truman State just to get the highest scores.
Choa retakes the lead for UND. Also earns himself a 20 burger on the inside. Nice spin. Peters off the right side of the glass. Oh no, Tynes gets hit hard. Hits the deck, but in transition. Here's Walker, needs to pass it away. It's an offensive foul. The charge, Walker. 3rd foul against the Hounds. 2nd foul against number 22. UND a 1-point lead, but the Bulldogs a chance to take the lead again. Want to see some more of C.E. Talton. He had a good stretch of basketball in that first half, towards the middle of it. He's got the ball here. Just hands it off to Straight. Such a good player. Fade away 2, and it bounces in from mid-range. This kid can do it all.
The kid can really do it all, and the Bulldogs are moving fast with fast reactions to try and get the Greyhounds unprepared. And just like that, also a great defensive play by the Bulldogs. 3 of them were able to block the Greyhounds and not let them score.
A bucket and a stop. That's a recipe for success. Up by 1 point are the Bulldogs. Straight. Has to get rid of the ball. 10 to shoot. Inside. Poked out. That's a foul. That's an obvious push. Choa picks up his 3rd foul. He's got to be sent to the bench. First thing Corsaro does, turns around, looks like he's going to call in some reinforcements. Beg your pardon, Bruno Williams comes into the game. They'll let Choa stay in the game for now, but Leticia, all it takes is 1 more foul, and Choa's got to sit for the next 4 minutes or so.
Yeah, and we don't have much longer than that, and I'm pretty sure if the game keeps being tight like this, they're going to need Choa for all of these 7 minutes.
Hayes Camp, yes sir. Up by 3 now, Truman State's largest lead. First time they've been up by more than a penny. Turnaround, can't get it. From the GLVC logo and another stop. And now we'll see if the Bulldogs can get another bucket and start to increase this lead. They're the underdogs. They come in not with a ton of pressure on them as Truman State. Trying to get this revenge win. UND's got all the pressure in the world on this 12-game streak. Number 1 in the conference, number 7 in the nation. They've got the target on their back. No foul called, gets his own rebound. Talton kicks it out. Thought about a 3 instead, comes in strong. Looking for the bucket, he gets it, right block. That's Nduka Agwu.
I mean, Nduka was wide open. He dribbled around and he was able to get it in.
UND on a drought. It's a 10-2 run for the Bulldogs. Big reason why they're up by 5. Tynes, 3, this is big! Josiah Tynes coming off a career day. He's got 6 points now. Here's another triple on the other end, and that is an ugly clank. Nowhere close was Hunter Straight. Williams, long 2. No, but a foul. Bruno to the line. One of the best free throw shooters in the conference. Without a timeout on the floor, 2 minutes later brings us to the under 8 media timeout. You know what that means? It means we get to hear from Hannah Hurley.
UIndy has developed a bit of a fan club and are set up down by the Bulldogs. Perhaps some of this trash talk is what is propelling Truman State here in the second half. The game that started out with the Greyhounds having a decent lead over the Bulldogs has now turned into a fight to the finish. I've said it once and I'll say it again. The sideline is the best seat in the house, and I'm happy to have it down here tonight. I'm Hannah Hurley reporting with the GLVC Sports Network and UIndy TV.
The Hounds down by 2. Truman, a nice little run. 10-2 gets them in the spot that they are. The Hounds do respond with the Josiah Tynes three-pointer. He's got 6 points now. We're going to need to see a lot more of Josiah Tynes, I think, after such a good game last week. Last time, get this, last 2 times he's played Truman State. In November, had 15 points, 5 rebounds. Last March in that GLVC tournament game, 14 points for Tynes. He's just had a way with his team, and I'd like to see a little bit more of him on the offensive end. But first, Bruno Williams at the stripe, 2 shots after he was fouled on a shot. He could tie it here. Halfway there. For Bruno, 84% from free throw range. His right foot toes the line. Tie game. It's going to be a close one, Leticia. We still got 6 minutes left, but goodness.
This is going to be a close one.
You think the Greyhounds are happy that they got that close game against UIS? Still won, but being able to get that experience of playing in close contests really going to help them out today, right?
You know, honestly, I think, too, as an athlete, I guess when it's a fight, this close of a fight to the finish, that's what gets you excited. That's what gets you motivated. Look
Stolen
at that.
away on the run. 2-on-1 and a foul. Didn't get to see the excitement that I was hoping for. As Tynes gets fouled, he'll be sent to the line for 2. The second foul called against Trey Shearer. And you're right, and Josiah talked about it. He says that's why you play college basketball, is so you can get in these close games, in these tough environments, playing with a lot on the line. I'll tell you what, no one plays better on this team with a lot on the line than Josiah Tynes. In that game against UIS when they were down by 4 into that under 4 media timeout, this kid not only drained a crucial 3 from the corner late in the game, there's about 45 seconds left, but then he went and hit 2 free throws to put them up by 4, won the game. There, he can't hit the front end of a 1-on-1, though. That's big. You got to hit free throws, and he would have got a second opportunity if he drained it.
Yeah, sometimes it's really those free throws that make a huge difference when it's this close.
Peters to Hayskamp, right elbow, pull up, you got it. That's big, retaking the lead. On the other end, Jesse Bingham do it all. He's got 12 points.
Nathaniel, I told you that in the second half he would get better and better.
Passing it around. Some tight defense. Going up strong, blocked away. Kendrick Choa, flex your muscles. In transition, Tynes. Well, wisely dump it off to his teammate. Now on the inside, Kendrick Choa. Offensive foul, that's his 4th. Choa with the 4th foul.
And just look at Corsaro. He is not a happy man right now, especially not with the referee.
It's the 5th Greyhound foul of the half. That's a 4th one from Kendrick Choa. He's going to have to go sit for the next 2 or 3 minutes. That's huge because he's been their best player
that is
far
huge.
and away. 20 points for him.
4 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Choa heads to the bench with 20 points and 10 rebounds. His 6th double-double of the year. His 2nd 20-point performance, but it might not be able to grow too much more. The Hounds need him back out there. Inside feed, Peters up strong, a second straight block on Dylan Peters. That was Robinson who tipped it away. Turnaround, Jay. Yes, sir. Jesse Bingham with 14. Kick out corner, straight, one step up, stops and pops and drains it.
Doing it all. Now Straight has achieved the 20 points, tied up with Choa.
More importantly, ties the game at 71. Remember, last March in Edwardsville, it was a 94-90 game, high scoring. This one promises to be high scoring as well. Maybe not that much, but it's going to be a high-scoring affair. Long pull-up, and he gets it. Jacoby Robinson, he's got double-figure scoring. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, he's doing it all. 2 steals as well to lead the team. Up by 2, under 3 to go. The Hounds on defense. Straight blocked again. 3 blocks in the last minute and a half or so. This time it was Steinfeld, the #1 team in the conference in terms of shot blocks. Strikes again. Bingham in strong, a foul. Send Jesse Bingham to the line. Single bonus. We'll have to hit the front end to get a second one. Look at this replay. What a long range 2. No fear in the eyes of Jacoby Robinson. Let's go down to Hannah Hurley.
If you tuned into the women's game earlier tonight, you know that this game is just as exciting. Something must be in the water over at Truman State because their ability to bounce back is just commendable. We will see if the Greyhounds are able to pick up their momentum and pull through in these last few minutes. Stay with us here as we close a game you don't want to miss. Reporting for the GLVC Sports Network and UND TV, I'm Hannah Hurley.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
WICR's operations manager standing to my left. Her name is Leticia Vaselli. Down on our sideline is Hannah Hurley. I'm Nathaniel Finch. Ready for a great finish.
Just like Hannah Hurley said, this is something no one wants to miss. We did not see this coming at all. Last time, 80-57, a wipeout. And today, this close of a game, Nathaniel, I'm getting goosebumps all over my body.
I'm sure a lot of these guys feeling the pressure the same way. Up by 2. The Hounds can make it 4, but Bingham, not quite the team's best free throw shooter. He shoots around 65%. He's got to hit 2 of them to do that. Front end of a 1-on-1, more important, he gets it. Another chance for him. The second, these are pressure free throws. Paul Corsaro says the Hounds practice this all the time. Every practice, you got to hit some pressure free throws. And he hits 2 big ones there, up by 4. Peters to Straight, 2 of the hottest players for the Bulldogs. Peters looks for something to do with the ball, gets it to Hayes Camp. Also one of the hottest, if not the hottest for this squad. Corner 3, Straight. Changed my mind, he's the hottest. He's got 25 points. Hunter Straight, second best game of his career. Look at this shot. An even better pass across the key. And a beautiful swish.
Hunter Straight, always straight for those 3-pointers.
And suddenly, Leticia, the lead just 1 point for UND, trying to defend their #7 ranking in the nation.
This is a result, I think, a lot of people were not expecting, but it's it's making this game so exciting. Hunter Straight and Elijah definitely carrying a lot of weight for this team, and it doesn't seem like they get tired, ever.
$75, 74, the huddle breaks. I'm sure that was a big message that Paul Corsaro had to deliver. He does so well in these late game situations. The under 4 media timeout against UIS last week told his team, hey, when we're down 4, we're used to these 4-minute wars, he calls them, Leticia. So in practice, they practice 4-minute situations. That's a big one. Bruno Williams. He's got double figures now. Second straight game for him. Had 10 against his former team. His 9th game in double figures.
Bruno Williams stepping up when the team needs him.
A foul called. That one's big. This could give Peters some big free throws. Instead, say the foul's on the floor. It'll be the last time we get a common foul without some free throw shots. The 6th foul for UIndy. Platoon swap for the Bulldogs. Hayes Camp, he'll be the wind inbound. He's got C. Talton out there with Xavier Hall. In the corner right now is Peters. All alone is Hunter Straight. Hunter Straight's got a shot if he wants it. Instead, doesn't get the open look. Stolen away. Should have passed it to your best player in the corner. Straight was open and begging for the basketball. 67 seconds. Up by 4. You know the message here. Take your time, find a good shot, drain it, and you got a 2-possession lead, if not 3. Bingham, big drive, goes up and is blocked away. Dylan Peters with the block. A big dish. 40 seconds to go, up strong. No foul that would have sent Cho to the locker room. Now the foul. What's on the offensive end? What? Bruno Williams. Who are they going to call this against? This is big. We'll find out after the break.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UIndy TV News.
A lot of confusion on the basketball court today on the south side of Indianapolis. On Hannah Street, the campus of UIndy. They hold a 4-point lead, and a well-timed Paul Corsaro timeout saved what could have been a foul.
Nathaniel, what it looked like to me was an offensive foul from what the referees were trying to point at, but then they started pointing at Choa. That would be his 5th foul.
I think they might have wanted to call a foul on Kendrick Choa, but they awarded Paul Corsaro the timeout before that foul was assessed. So now to break the huddle, one of the bigger times that they'll do so late in this season. The Hounds up 4, they'll be on offense. A bucket here, Leticia, makes you feel a lot better if you wear a white jersey.
Oh yeah. 36 seconds left.
As of right now, we're gonna need to see a stop, a bucket, a stop, and a bucket for the Bulldogs in 36 seconds. So already long odds, but if UIndy can make this a 6-point lead or even a 7-point lead, oh, that would take the top off of Nickerson Hall. Tynes to inbound. The 6'8" man from Eldridge, Iowa in front of him. Try not to foul. They get it off. Now the foul comes. So we'll send Williams to the line for a 1-and-1. If he misses the front end here, life for the Bulldogs. If he makes both, though, you can basically head to the locker room. Assessed with a foul was Joe Knutson. Doesn't matter, he only has 2 fouls. Team has 9, though. Any more fouls is double figures. Look at that, right in the middle of your screen.
Corsaro's crew.
Our very own Tim Mathodakis getting to watch from the stands. Here's Bruno Williams up by 5. Big free throws. Misses the second. Hayskamp straight, needs to move quickly. A bucket's his career high. First time since 2018 if he can hit it. Hayskamp, you want the ball in his hands. High floater and he hits it. That was a beautiful shot right at the time you need it. Hayskamp breaks the 20 plane. He's got 21 and 7. A timeout called from Truman State. What do you think we're going to see here?
20 seconds, Nathaniel. I don't even know what to say anymore. So many things have surprised me and shocked me.
That was a beautiful shot, though. That's all you can say.
No, that was a beautiful shot. And I think all they can do is just use Elijah and Straight to move as fast as they can. And if the UND Greyhounds don't step up their defense, then they can probably take the L on this game.
So UND's going to come out of this huddle with the 3-point lead and the ball. Probably going to see at least an attempt at a steal first before fouling. UND's in the double bonus, so you don't want to send them to the line necessarily. But we'll see if Truman State can come in and just try to get a steal first. If they can't, in about 5 seconds, get your foul. Hope for some missed shots. Just hope and pray for some missed shots because UND's up by 3 in a good spot.
Truman State's praying for a UND foul, and UND's praying that they don't get a steal.
And the strategy for Coach Corsaro and the Greyhounds, get the ball in, and then just try to pass it around, right? Even if it's in the backcourt, just try to pass it around so you can kind of knock some of the time off the clock, and then in the end, get the ball into one of your best free throw shooters. I'd give it to Bruno Williams. He just hit 2 big ones. If not, Josiah Tynes. Those are your 2 best free throw shooters by a mile on this team. Not that great of a free throw shooting team. 71% they average, but man, they do everything else so good. And you're right. If you can get those 2 players, look at this. Everybody's lined up aside from Choa on the baseline. 4 verticals. They get it in. It's a steal. This is what you need, but they lose the ball. Tynes' ball still on the ground. And now it spells doom. Choa lays it in, but a foul. First bucket doesn't count. Doesn't matter. This game is over. How about that? Truman State did everything they needed to do in the early going to get the steal, but in the end, it was poked away by the Greyhounds.
And look at that, Nathaniel. Everything we said that would happen actually happened. They tried to pass the ball, then there was a steal, and then they lost the ball, and then an action-packed game, I would say.
Just out of the frame of this shot, Paul Corsaro gave a big hug to Josiah Tynes. How about the steal? He had to poke the ball away, dive for the ground, get it, rip it off to his teammate Bruno Williams. Quarterback pass into the front court with Kendrick Choa, and that's all she wrote. We're going to give some foul shots to Bruno Williams. Might we figure this one out? The referee coming over talking to the replay staff. Let's step aside. Replay will tell you what happens next. Technical foul. They're going to switch over to Kendrick Choa at the line instead of Bruno Williams. They'll get the first shot. It's successful. That sinks the game. UND a big win. They're going to try to add on one more at the end of this one. The foul was against C.E. Talton. Just the way that he wrapped around Kendrick Choa. Going to assess the foul there. They'll get the 2 shots. 81-76. There's 12 seconds left. About all hope is run dry for Truman State. UND, they're going to be right back here for their Hall of Fame game against Quincy on Saturday. We'll have that coverage here on UND TV's YouTube and the GLVC Sports Network. How about this? A foul beyond the arc. 3 foul shots for Tynes. The game's over. You can just pad your stats, buddy. UND averages 78 points a game. They've got 81 here. In fact, Leticia, when they score more than 63, they're perfect, 18-0. They're well past 63 points here.
That was not a smart move by Truman State. Giving them 3 points just like that.
Letting
Into
Tynes add some stats to his name. He's got 7 points right now, 5 assists. That's very impressive for Josiah Tynes.
I mean, just that dive he took in these last couple of seconds is what really saved the Greyhounds, and I'm sure that was the highlight of this game for him.
83-76 to number 7. UND Greyhounds will live to see another day and increase this winning streak to 13. You want to hear what Coach Corsaro thinks? I want to stick around. Hannah Hurley will have that, but first, the final 5 seconds. A three-pointer. Can't get it to go. Hall misses. Rebound, Jessie Bingham. And that will be all she wrote. UND 83, Truman State 76. A valiant fight for the Bulldogs on the road, but in the end, the better team comes out on top. UND continues this win streak up to 13. They'll hold on to their #1 ranking in the GLVC. And they'll host Quincy on Saturday. For Truman State, they'll head over to Illinois for a game against McKendree. Then they got 2 home games next week. Our very own Hannah Hurley will have a conversation with Paul Corsaro coming up here in just a moment or two. We get things figured out. But Leticia, a big win for UND. How about that?
A big win for UND. I think they came into this game very confident. And then as we were going through the second half and Truman State was just trailblazing through, the emotions just got really high.
A big win. Let's hear what Paul Corsaro has to say about it.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with UND head coach Paul Corsaro. What was the team's energy like coming into tonight's game?
We know every night we're going to get everybody's best shot, and they knew it was going to be a challenge. Credit to Truman State. They played a heck of a ball game.
Absolutely. It's no secret you have a special team. So in your mind, who stepped up and led the way tonight?
I thought everybody contributed that got in. You know, certain guys at different times, and it was a good team effort. They got ahead on us, and we found a way to claw back.
Of course. So you guys have won 13 games straight. How is this momentum going to take you into the home stretch?
Well, we can't think about that, honestly. You know, this is great. We can enjoy it now, but when we wake up tomorrow, it's all about Quincy, and nothing that's happened leading up to Quincy really matters. We gotta turn the page.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations, and good luck going forward.
All right, I'm not sure how many will watch. We got our first episode of Casaro's Crew, the T-shirts, all right, student section. Keep coming back. There's going to be incentives every single game, all right? So thanks for being here, everybody.
They love you. They love you. Have a good one. So for the last time tonight, reporting from the sidelines of Nickerson Hall for the GLVC Sports Network and UND TV, I'm Hannah Hurley. Have a great night.
Thank you to Hannah for that interview. Big thank you to head coach Paul Corsaro for his time there. Leticia, what a fun game we just witnessed. UND, they're not used to these close games, but they pull out yet another close one.
But like I said, Nathaniel, that's what keeps the athletes motivated and wanted to keep going. I mean, as an athlete, I understand when you are wiping out another team, it just isn't as fun, you know? It doesn't drive you as much. It doesn't give you that passion and fire in your eyes. And I know that the Greyhounds, I know they struggle, and it's hard to not have a wipeout game like this after a 13-winning streak. But honestly, I think they needed that for so many great things and great stats to come out of this game.
Great analysis in the mind of an athlete by an athlete. Her name is Leticia Vaselli, a UND swimmer, national champion. Leticia, thanks for your color commentary throughout the game. It was a pleasure calling this game with you.
Thank you, Nathaniel. It's a pleasure calling this game with you. It has been my dream, and you made it come true in my last semester of senior year.
UND will host Quincy on Saturday. We'll have that coverage for you right here on this very network. That's UND TV's YouTube and the GLVC Sports Network. A reminder, Leticia, the Greyhounds have 2 losses. They have not lost in 14 games, but you know who one of those losses were to? Quincy. That's who they've got on Saturday. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be really fun and an interesting game to see, but I'm sure, like Corsaro said, there will be incentives, and I think if we pack the house again, it'll give you the energy that they need.
The Hall of Fame game, we'll have the coverage right here. The women's game will start at 1 o'clock, the men's game at 3 o'clock, and I can't wait to join you then. Until next time, our camera operators, Maddie Fisher, Binks Puente, and The rest of the crew here are producing talent is Brandon Barger and Sydney Smith. A big thank you to Adriana Odeja. Our director is Liam Price. From the sidelines, it's Hannah Hurley. My color commentator right here to my left is Leticia Vaselli. Signing off till Saturday, Nathaniel Finch from Nickerson Hall. What did I call him?